I think the majority of us, when was younger, wants to be a YouTuber. The simple idea of sharing your creation in form of videos and earning money doing what you want, it was just amazing. But now, we grew and things have changed too. Nowadays it's complicated to start your own YouTube channel with the intention to be famous without having a real plan. And for sure, maybe it's not for you. Not everyone is prepared to be famous, because be famous means followers, and followers means responsibility. When you start being famous on YouTube, you gain another term than YouTuber. You start being influencer, because now be only on YouTube isn't enough to continue growing, so you expand to Instagram, Twitter, and start having offers from sponsors to promote their products. You also need to grow in your content by giving more quality to your followers and making something more professional without losing your own style. And that's the perfect scenario in a perfect world where everyone wants to grow with honor. And then is the reality, where most of the people who have a lot of followers are who go for the easy way, creating trash content and denigrating the term YouTuber. So, now, let's compare and contrast the differences of the followers from the first case from the second one. In the first case, normally are a community of people from 15 to 30 years old, and in the second case, there is a radio from 4 to 13 years old, or even 20. And that phenomenon was present in the past, is present now, and will be present in the future if we don't protect the young people from that bad influence. Because YouTube is a platform that gives us a lot of opportunities, but unfortunately not everyone uses their intelligence thinking in something that can be a really great job. Using that intelligence to generate more views with trash content, and in consequence attracting the young people who doesn't have the criterion to identify if the content that they consume is good or bad. Of course, everyone has the right to consume whatever he wants, but at least that person needs to have the criterion to identify what he or she consumes. And finally, I would like to launch a question for all the spectators. Is it normal that through the years it's very common to see a child for over 5 or 6 years start using words that Daddy God doesn't like? So, what do you think is the reason of this?
Específicamente sobre la forma de entrenamiento tan particular que se dice que tienen los yihadistas a través de un videojuego, el Minecraft. Contame lo del videojuego, Rolando, el Minecraft, que por lo que tengo entendido es un videojuego...
Minecraft es un juego, yo me estuve...
Lo estamos viendo en pantalla, te decía que para completar la idea, por lo que tengo entendido es un juego de creación de situaciones para defenderse frente a determinados ataques.
Yep, that's real. The video games make the people violent? Yeah, probably. Because the people who actually think that a video game makes a guy take the AK-40 of his father and go to his school to make a shooting, of course make me so angry. Because, let's be honest, see that reason of future criminals is that they play Call of Duty, it's just dumb. Because it's only an excuse to hide the real problem, that is how the child grow, seeing pure violence. But not fiction violence from a game, no, real violence. Things like the protest, how we see in countries like the US is buy a gun, the poor education, and a lot of bullying without treatments. When you have all these ingredients, congrats! You have created a future murderer. And if we continue talking about frustrating things, let's talk about online shops. If you live in a first world country, you probably never have this problem. But if you're like me, a guy who lives in a third world country, you probably know what I'm talking about. And yep, I'm talking about online scams. Companies like Amazon give a quality standard to the people in countries like the US. But in countries like Colombia we have... well... Mercado Libre. Okay, let's be honest. Today, and even more after all the pandemic, the people learned how to prevent being scammed. And a lot of franchises have their official stores on Mercado Libre. But still there's a big problem, that is the prices of some products. One example of this can be my personal case of buying football shirts. I love to collect them, but in my case I have to buy copies of the official shirts because the price is just impossible to be sustainable. And that comes from a person who have a lot of experience on it. But let's think we are a new guy in this world who wants to buy the Barcelona shirt. Well, we probably bought this and receive this.
Hi, I'm Michelle Melby.
And I'm Tom Milburn.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities.
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Let me start this video with a question. How sure are you about when you want a product it was because it attracts your attention at your own and not a manipulation in the advertisement that you are looking? The advertising industry is a constant race to attract more people to their products. That can be a movie, food, a new game, even a political advertisement. But the manipulation isn't only in the ads, because the advertising is on everything. Sports, news, movies, games. Of course, some of those things are not as easy to detect if we compare it to an ad. But there are like a Easter egg on the video games, for example. Other example of manipulation can be all the online shops. Buy on Amazon in our Black Week with products with over 50% of discount. What are you waiting for? Buy now! Let's be honest. Everyone here has bought something with a special discount. It's a good strategy. The enterprise and the consumer win, right? Well, not at all. Very common that the products with a discount are with that discount because it's an old product, have a defect, or are the last products of the stock. And we can't forget the influencers. For the people who doesn't know, all the influencers doesn't get money because they have like 1 million followers or thousands of likes. Not at all. They get money because all the enterprises like, I don't know, Coca-Cola, pay some dollars to the influencer to get more interest on the product, knowing that the people who see the influencer will be interested in the product. So, how do you feel knowing all of this? Maybe used? Well, my intention with this video isn't make you a paranoid who think that everything is manipulated by the government. No. I just want to explain you a little more how complex is the advertising industry. The enterprises need to be in a constant learning process to find new ways to attract the people.